I've been playing the new Doom a whole lot recently, and I have some thoughts. Most of them good. I like this one a lot. It might be my new favorite. I've always been really interested in the Doom games. Once 2016 came out, I was, it was, maybe not entirely responsible, but one of the big reasons I think that boomer shooters and movement shooters had such a strong resurgence around that time. It played a big role in both showing the industry that people still wanted this and like popularizing it, showing people who might not have realized they still wanted it that, yeah, no, moving really fast and shooting a bunch of shit in a game that feels a lot like Quake is still fucking awesome. It's hard to look back at Doom 2016 with anything other than rose-tinted glasses because of it being such a breath of fresh air at the time and because of just how fucking good it is. But I went back and played it recently, right before the Dark Ages came out, and I was honestly really surprised at how antiquated it felt. Which, fucking big surprise, right? It's 10 years old. But when it came out, I remember thinking that this is one of the best shooters I've ever played. I don't know if this is ever going to get old. It's a really good game, don't get me wrong, but it does have problems. None of them really detrimental. It's mostly just little things, right? I think the way it mixes sound is kind of shit. It's really hard to hear the music. Some gun sound effects are a lot more impactful than others. A lot of the animation, and I feel crazy for saying this, but a lot of the animations, they do kind of just lack impact by today's standards. They feel kind of floaty and weightless. Still a great game overall, but once you go and play Eternal, it made some fucking progress in terms of the game feel. That game just feels really fucking good to play moment to moment. But for as much as I do like Doom Eternal, the direction that it went down is one that I kind of take issue with on some level. Because whereas in 2016, there's quite a bit of freedom of choice in terms of how you go about dealing with any given combat scenario. There's a little bit of wiggle room for player expression and like variance in playstyles. Eternal comes in and says, fuck all that. You play the game the right way or you lose. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There is a lot of fun in mastering Eternal's combat system. Every combat scenario is a complex moving puzzle piece. But it's a puzzle piece with a relatively predetermined correct solution. What do you do when you see a cacodemon? You feed it a grenade. What do you do when you see the fucking brain with the turret on it? I forget its name. You snipe its turret off. Or you stick it with a grenade. Sure, you don't have to do it, but you're gonna get killed. You have to play the game the way it wants you to play it. It's a few steps removed from straight up fucking like red light, green light, Simon Says type shit. People like to call Eternal battle chess, but I've always kind of disliked that because chess is a game where you make decisions, and Eternal doesn't really feel like decision making. It feels like learning rules and honing in your reaction speed. If you can do those two things, you'll win. And what I was really worried Doom the Dark Ages would do is triple down on this design choice. The idea that there is a correct and an incorrect way to engage with any given enemy. But at least for me, very thankfully, they've gone in the complete opposite direction. This is the first time in my mind that when people refer to Doom as battle chess, it absolutely makes sense in my mind. There are definitely still some enemies, especially fodder, that have better ways to be killed, but it's not your only option anymore, especially once they've given you enough toys to play with. There's a lot of different ways to handle basically anything the game throws at you, and it's great! Even in instances where you do have like basically a correct way to kill things, like with the energy shield guys, they're basically never the most important thing on the battlefield, and so the decision making comes not from how to kill them, but when to kill them. Because upon death, if you kill them the right way, they have an AoE explosion. And so a lot of the fodder enemies in the Dark Ages end up acting more like environmental hazards that can be exploited. they've leaned a lot harder into just like turning this into a mechanical sandbox, which I'm all for. It's not just choosing, oh, I want to use this gun to deal with this. Choices that you make can be layered and built on top of each other. They've just done a really great job balancing this new crowd control style of gameplay with all of the massively increased number of enemies on screen at any given time. This is also probably the best feeling game it has ever put out. They found some really creative ways of conveying the power that you as a player wield. Like when you land, you just deal AoE damage. Like that, like you don't press anything. If you land, you hurt everything around you. It's fucking awesome. The sound design is on a whole other level. Things are balanced a lot better this time around, but there's a really nice balance of bassiness and just high-end crunch to basically every single action. And the animations, both like the hand-authored stuff and the partially the automated end of things, is really, really, really impressive. You know, for all the power fantasy shit that Doom 2016 and especially Eternal like to yap about, you as a player are forced in these games, again, Eternal especially, to play in a very reactionary way. Like, you as a player don't have a ton of control over a given encounter, which is in stark contrast to the Dark Ages, where you almost entirely dictate the flow of battle. For the first time since the soft reboot, in my opinion, you actually feel like you're playing as the fucking Doom guy everyone is talking about. It's fucking awesome! It's not all perfect. The new levels are proper arenas now, and not like, you know, like shooting game arenas. Like I'm talking fucking coliseums, and that's because the new combat style necessitates it. You can't have all these enemies on screen without needing wide open spaces to accommodate them. I get why they did it, and it makes sense, but it is a little disappointing that a lot of the verticality that we saw in the previous games is just kind of not here as much. There are also little moments in between the actual fights, especially when you get on your dragon. There's a dragon, by the way, that straight up actually just boiled down to fucking Simon Says, and those parts suck ass. They're not fun. They suck. Don't do this again, id. Please and thank you. I haven't fully upgraded all the weapons yet, but so far it feels like once you get the tier 2 version of some shit, there's really not a lot of reason to go back to the tier 1, because it's just better. It's just a more powerful gun, and that sucks. I like being encouraged to use all of my tools, not just the ones I prefer. Curious to hear y'all's thoughts on this one, but I also just don't think the music is as good. I miss Mick Gordon a lot. I'm sure the guys at Finishing Move did their damnedest to make a Doom soundtrack, and it does sound like Doom, but it don't got that sauce. I'm not sophisticated enough in music to be able to really critique it beyond that, but I don't like it. But yeah, all of these and more bad stuff aside, I'm just really, really pleasantly surprised by how much I have found myself enjoying this new installment in Doom. I was so worried that they weren't done with Eternal's formula yet, and they were gonna double down on it even more. But no, this new Doom, even though your moment-to-moment gameplay is a lot more defensive, you as a player are given more control, more autonomy, and more ability to express yourself than in either of the games that came before. And combined with how fucking amazing this game actually just feels to play moment to moment, this is probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite now. This game is fucking awesome. It's so good. But enough about me. What did you think? What did you think? Tell me in the comments. You give me engagement now. Give me you, Orange. Give you me. Give me you.